Hey, what's up guys, Mashine here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. First up, thank you guys so much for 20,000 subscribers. That's such a large number and I can't believe it, but we got a video to get to. We're going to be talking about how you can stay prepared for the upcoming events in this next month, and the first of which is potentially an operation. Now obviously this is not confirmed by any means, but an operation is something that has drastically changed the market in the past and will continue to do so, and we'll talk a little bit more after a quick word from today's sponsor. Are you looking to grab some of those great looking CS2 skins but don't want to spend a ton of money on Steam tax selling off your current ones? Well, you don't have to with today's sponsor, Skins Monkey. Skins Monkey is a trading website that's currently offering you $5 free if you use code MasterShiny, or an additional 35% bonus on new deposits with the code MasterShiny. All you have to do is pick out the skins you no longer want, pick out the skins you do want, and send that trade. And if you don't have any skins, don't worry, they're giving away hundreds of dollars worth of skins all the time. Now there's a lot of data out there that can kind of give us a rough estimate of when potentially we're going to see updates, and when we look at the operation, you can see that it is overdue. I mean, there is a ton of time between when we were supposed to see it by this data and when we have actually seen it, which we don't know. But the truth is that's because of CS2, and it's not something that is too reliable when we talk about outside variables like we are here. But staying prepared for an operation is something that's very important, because an operation can absolutely decimate your portfolio. And the truth is, if you're not prepared for it, you're just going to be losing out because the market will go on without you. Now, talking about an operation, the most important thing is probably going to have some funds on deck. This is for a number of different reasons. One, obviously you're going to be able to invest into those brand new items if you want to. You don't have to, but it's a choice. And the other thing is you're not going to be selling at a major discount, and that's very important. When an operation rolls around, you can see prices drop dramatically. If you want to look at the riptide prices here, you can see that the prices dropped dramatically, but they stayed low. That's the thing, is the prices most likely are not going to instantly rebound. We've seen that exactly here with Paris, how even though we've seen some of the prices go back up a little bit, none of the prices have gone back up to their peak, and they probably won't for a fair amount of time. That's very important because that's something we can almost guarantee to see with an operation, is that we're not going to see an instant rebound of prices, but rather most likely a slow recovery like we've seen in the past. Now, like I mentioned before, it's not likely, but because the idea has been thrown out a decent amount with an operation and CS2 coming together, I feel like it should have a place in this video. But the most important one is going to be that Paris major sale. Now, the Paris major sale is an absolutely crucial moment for CSGO investing for one specific reason. That's the fact that we don't know exactly where the market lies right now. See, obviously the capsule market is completely diminished overnight with the release of these Paris stickers. We can look at Antwerp and Stockholm. See, they've been absolutely demolished. But we don't know if they're going to fall any further, and the 75% off sale is going to be the best chance we're going to have to know of if Antwerp and Stockholm still have a healthy market share or if it's absolutely diminished as well. If you want my personal opinion on it, you can just see how much that this release of the Paris stickers has hurt me. Inside of my graphs, you can see my total inventory, and obviously it is a bit responsible for that peak just because obviously I do have an investment into Antwerp and Stockholm, but it's just at a very inopportune time that this has come around, because we've started to see the slide of all of the items, because obviously the CS2 hype is wearing off a little bit, which is quite understandable. I mean, it was almost 2 months ago, if you can believe it, that it was actually announced. But talking about when specifically we might see the Paris sale, because this is a question that keeps on coming up, basically we're going to see the major end, and then probably within 1 to 4 days we're going to see that Champions capsule release with obviously the autographs of the champions. This is very important because Valve wants to make their money off of it. They didn't just go through all the work of making this capsule to let you buy it for 25 cents. Therefore, it's probably going to be another 1 to 3 weeks before we actually see this sale. And that's not even mentioning the confusion that all comes along with the CS2 release date potentially being this summer. But talking about how to profit for this and be prepared. So obviously, once again, you're going to need to have some money for this, but the Paris sale is a little bit of an interesting one. You don't have to have a ton of money to get your skin in the game, and that's because these capsules are obviously going to be 25 cents. And when they're 25 cents, you're going to be having the best ROI you can possibly get with these capsules, because it's going to be over 100% most likely. See, what happens is these capsules go from $1 to 25 cents, and therefore the ROI goes from maybe potentially 50% at $1 to to 200% at 25 cents. This is going to be your golden opportunity because you're going to be able to open up these capsules in a positive situation. You could theoretically be making a decent amount of money. Obviously, you're going to have to get lucky and pull a holo. If you continue to pull those blue stickers, you're not going to be in a good situation because they're going to be 3 cents and you're only going to get 1 after Steam tax. But this is going to be the best opportunity you have in the entire game to make some profit, and I can legitimately say this is one of the things I get the most excited for about a major. Now, when we're talking about something like this and the opportunity for a lot of money, there's a lot of things that come with it that are huge caveats. The first of which is you're going to need to be quick. These things are going to be drained quickly. As soon as people realize that the sale is out there, everyone is going to be opening up these capsules. You're not going to be the only person, and people are going to be instantly hitting those buy orders and draining down the prices of things very quickly. The second of which is you need to make sure you're opening up the right capsule. If you want to look at the total ROI for Paris capsules, you can see one of them is a 32% ROI right now, and these ROIs probably going to decrease moving forward. So you're going to probably want to opt for one of these other capsules that has a much better ROI than for the Challenger's Autograph, provided these are the ROIs that actually are there once the sale drops. I highly suggest you check it out and therefore make your decision off that. Going back to the events that are possible for the next month is another case. Now, this one is not too likely, but we've seen about 3 months since the release of the past case, therefore we got to bring it up into discussion. But basically, when we see a brand new case, we're most likely going to see another case pushed out of that active drop pool, and therefore the price of that case is probably going to go up very quickly. If we want to look at some of the older examples of this, you can see there was usually a little bit of a hype and then it slowly fell off. But if we look at the newer versions of cases, and especially the ones in the new era, you can see that the price went up and has continued to go on up. That's because obviously these cases are rare and usually they still have a pretty healthy unboxing demand. Now at this time, it's very unclear of what case could potentially go into that rare drop pool, because we've seen inside of that active duty drop pool, we've seen some of the most competition we've ever seen. These cases are very evenly matched, and I don't think this is something that's probable, but it is once again possible. And speaking on that topic of cases, over the next month, I honestly can't see too much happening with cases. I think we're most likely going to see a stagnation, which we've seen for a lot of cases already all across the board, and that's honestly, in my opinion, very good. As long as cases aren't decreasing in value, I'm very happy with a stagnation in value. This is something that you've been into CSGO investing for a long time, you're very familiar with, and honestly, this is usually the sign before we start to see a little bit of a growth kick up. This is not something I'm disappointed about at this time, rather I'm just kind of here for it. And the last thing I want to talk about is changes from the last month, the biggest of which comes in terms of case unboxings. See, obviously everyone knows that case unboxings have gone down, but the truth is, if you want to look at a graph like this, you can still see that there is a very strong and healthy demand for case unboxings, considering that this month for May, we could potentially see about 35 million-ish. That's what we saw in my past video where we took that example without Anubis packages. Therefore, even though the whole dynamic of the market has changed and we're in a position now where it's kind of turned into a little bit of a run for a sell-off, especially in some of these cheaper rare cases, as you can see, they've got a ton listed on the market, I'm still very confident in these, and I think they're honestly not a terrible pickup if you want to start looking into this specific area. The rare cases, we know they have a healthy demand, and we know that there's going to be obviously a market for these for a very long time. But that's all I got. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day.